What I do know for sure is that we are ready for the knowledge that aliens are out there. I just think we are. I just think if the not so the latest news was that the former head of the Israeli space program's security, he's an 87-year-old man. He came out and said aliens are real. They're here and on Earth. They're doing experiments. They're also sharing a base on Mars with American astronauts. Donald Trump knows it. NASA knows it. The Israelis know it. It's ridiculous. He's talking about a galactic federation. I have no problem in my never-ending quest to talk about all things alien, to wear my tinfoil hat, and to preach about the existence of aliens. I have no problem admitting this one sounds stupid and is totally silly. But in it, he had the reasoning that we don't talk about it and know officially is because the Galactic Federation of Aliens has said, we can't tell humans yet. They're not ready. And on the one hand, I can understand we are a people that has just shown we can't wear masks. Like we can't even –
in that respect, not ready.
Right. Like we,
what if that's it? What if it's like you could come to Mars. We have it. We travel at light speed. You get there tomorrow. Got to wear a mask. My freedom.
It's a no. Yeah. I mean, like that. There's a perfect example. Here's some science laid out before you. A lot of people rejected it. And
what if they said COVID? What if they created COVID as a test?
What if COVID was the ultimate test to see if humanity is ready and we failed with flying colors?
Well, that's like in Star Trek, they said that when they achieved light speed, the Vulcans noticed, and that's when they chose to like decloak and come out and be like, oh, okay, humans are ready. And they were just like, you just need to come together and stay inside for 1 year so that less of your people die, and then you get to go to Mars.
Or like, nope. Or what if it's an alien species that really values like pragmatic, harsh decision making, and the people who said, fuck it, we got to let the old people die and keep doing business, maybe they're the ones who are going to get beamed up because that's what the aliens deem to be important.
Or what if it was just cohesion? It was just like you just need to pick one side or the other. Right. We don't even care which one you do, but you got to be united.
Can't do that. Right, and we can't do that. So in that regard, I understand there's a lot of stupid people in this country and across the world that probably would not handle the news well. On the other side of things, specifically with regard to aliens, I kind of believe that we've talked about it so much through pop culture, through our sci-fi books and movies, which lead to our far-fetched discussions and our philosophical debates that we have when we're smoking weed as freshmen in college, staring at the stars, eating mushrooms, thinking about it. I kind of think that we're ready for it because we've been thinking about it. Now, if you tell me they're going to come down and fucking blast us with laser beams like in Independence Day, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're not ready. If you tell me that we've got to, they're going to beam us up and we got to pass a series of tests so they're going to be diplomatic, I don't know. Maybe we're not ready in that regard. But the notion that just the knowledge, if we somehow could confirm it, not that they're walking around with us, not that they're doing tests or they're going to abduct us, but I think there used to be a thought that like the religious world would come crumbling down and the fear would strike people. The people would just live for the moment and do whatever they wanted. It would be hedonistic. Like I just think we would go as a collective people. I think we'd go like, ha, knew it. Like even when when this year, when they said we have materials not of this world, the fucking straight up U.S. government said all those videos you've seen are real. All those Navy, Air Force videos of people being like, we don't know what the fuck that is. That was all real. We still can't tell you what it is. We hope it's UFOs because if it's another country, we are fucked in like the arms race. All that's real. Oh, and also, by the way, we think we found like some metal from a ship that wasn't from this planet. That was the government. And we were like, wait, what about Joe Exotic? Like that didn't make a headline. I had to be like, hello, is anybody listening?
Or that was the headline. Everyone was like, why is no one talking about this? We kind of were talking about it because we were saying, why is no one talking about it? But we weren't actually like, but wait, what are we going to do with this? We have an alien ship.
Didn't mean anything. And maybe that's what COVID has done here. Maybe it's like, unless you are affecting my day-to-day and my bottom line, I don't have time to worry about it. Because as long as, like I said, as long as if they're walking around and they're probing you up your ass and they're fucking dangerous, then you got to worry about it. If that's not happening, if all we're saying is that, yes, the Galactic Federation has decloaked and they've showed us, or even, one of those radio waves that we sent out in 1969 came back to us with a Morse code message, a binary message that said, hello, message received, we're out here.
Right.
But if just that happened, I think people would go like, holy shit. Okay, but but fuck Joe Biden, I think they would get right back to their everyday lives.
Right, especially that because everything is so far apart, and there's all these there's the great filter theory and the Fermi paradox, and it's basically like the universe is so vast. Why have we not seen anything? There must be something out there, but we haven't seen anything. But what if it comes back that it's when they say if you're looking at a supernova, it's you're seeing it, but it happened a billion years ago. It's so far away that the light can't. So yeah, we get a message back, but it's from 2 million years ago, and that civilization's now extinct. But that there was. You need you need a lot of things. You need it to be something you can interact with, so it needs to be close enough. It needs to be in the same time as you. It can't be in the past. And also, how about this? It needs to be at least as high of an intelligence as you. What if we find other life forms, but they're just primitive? People say we have no experience of this. We do. It happened in the 1400s. When we discovered America, it was they're the same.
Other people.
They're the same, they're the same species and everything.
But okay, but
they were less primitive, and we just colonized them. So what if we find another planet, but they're just a bunch of farmers? Would you be like, oh great, we have a new planet?
People, when they say the depths of the ocean are just as unexplored as space is.
Right.
So when we hit the bottom of the Marianas Trench and we find a new fish that has the fucking eyeballs that spread light,
right?
What do? We say,
Oh,
there's a new species.
New fish.
There's a new species. They just found a new species of monkey the other day in I don't know where. I want to say it was a rainforest somewhere. Wherever fucking, I don't know if it's the Amazon or Africa or wherever, but there was a deep part of a rainforest or a unexplored forest somewhere, and they found this new monkey that had white around their eyes. They were dark, but it had white fur around their eyes, kind of almost like a raccoon face. And they were just that's a new monkey. And they gave it a new name, fucking some primate, chimpanzeus, raccoonus or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just cool. I saw a tweet about it and I said, okay, we found a new species. But it wasn't smarter. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't anything.
Right.
What if that was aliens?
If we go down to the bottom of the ocean and we find Atlantis and they don't have internet, who cares?
Fuck them. They ain't shit.
Great.
So,
it's just another group of people.
Really comes down to? You know what it really comes down to? And this is maybe why we're not ready, because we would find it has to be, are you a threat to me or are you of value to me?
Right.
And anything other than that. It can't be that you're interesting. It can't be let's just coexist for the sake of harmony. It has to be, what can you do for me or are you going to hurt me? And if it's neither of those two,
I'm sure, in some way, if they're more advanced than us, then you're they're a threat.
Right.
What if you colonize us? So it's everybody actually just wants to stay exactly where we are. Everybody thinks that they want things to change, and everybody's actually we want to hold on to where we are.
Right. Just let me go to the restaurants. Just let me keep up my normal fucking way of life.
Yeah, because look at
everyone at home. Let me disappoint my boss. As long as I can keep struggling to maintain a life-work balance, I'm happy. If the aliens fuck that up, then I'm gonna be pissed.
Because we know about plagues. We've heard about plagues. One comes around. We decide it's not all that bad. It's the same thing as with aliens. We know if we find aliens, they might laser beam us. They might just heat ray us and kill us.
That's a really good point. If you think about what have been the plots of disaster movies recently,
right?
You would put on equal ground the Alien movie where they try to kill the world and the pandemic type movie, right?
Right.
We're living the pandemic movie, and we are it's bad. Don't get me wrong, but we're just kind of well, we got to figure it out.
But they never put in an outbreak that it's some people be nah, we are not going to try to fix it. We're just
That's, you know what? And that'll be the next part. Like the next movie will be like, and then there's the group of people who said like, we don't really care.
Right.
But if we were to live out the Alien movie, it would probably be a similar reaction where it's like, well, this sucks, but I still want to like watch Monday Night Football. Like, and I think there's something to that. I remember I was saying, I was talking about the new Bryan Cranston movie, TV show, Your Honor. His kid hits a guy with a car and they decide to cover it up. And I was thinking about that feeling as a parent where you probably just go, fuck, I wish we could just get in a time machine and undo what you did, you asshole. But then there's this calm that comes over you. I think when your life goes really wrong, I was talking to a friend of mine who had like a pregnancy scare, and he was like, a calm washed over me where I was just like, okay, we got to figure this out. And there was no crying and yelling. It's like when things are marginally bad, that's when you're in a panic because you're like, maybe I can undo this. Maybe I can figure out a way to undo this. How can I fix it? How can I make this not be the case anymore? When it's really bad and there's no fixing it, you just calmly and logically go like, okay, how are we going to like go forward? You know, that happened to me when my life blew up. I didn't cry, I didn't scream, I didn't yell. I was just like, I totally fucked this up. There's no undoing it. So let's fucking figure it out. I think that would be like with aliens. It's like, as long as it wasn't just mass death, like, you know, you're everything's in imminent danger.
I don't know.
You would just be like,
there's been a lot of death that people are kind of ignoring, but
yeah, even that, it would just be like, okay, well, you know, it's not like the movies, or it is like the movies, and so let's.
Well, I wonder then what it was like, you know, in like World War II for a while when Hitler was rampaging through Europe and before the United States, like before Pearl Harbor, it was like, I mean, that's kind of happening over there, you know, like what, I mean, I don't know.
And you know what? That's a good way to kind of wrap up the alien debate. Even it's like, it's almost like in The Walking Dead, if you ever watched that show, where it's like the zombies aren't the problems, the humans are. It's like you shouldn't be worried about the aliens. Look at these scumbag people. Like Hitler is as bad as it gets. People are like, what if the aliens come down and try to eradicate us by the millions? Well, we did it once before with a bunch of humans.
What if they drop bombs on our cities?
Right.
It's like, us.
You know,
we did that to each other.
Whether it was Genghis Khan killing 1 billion Asian people, or, you know, the Holocaust, or Stalin, or, you know, it's like, well,
we've done this with stupid hypotheticals. Like, I remember, didn't Dan one time say he would join the squirrels if the squirrels revolted and tried to take over? But like, imagine they came down and they like struck a deal with a country, and it was like, you know, the aliens and like the Russians, you know, like they joined up and they were like, oh, we're okay. Fuck.
Well,